All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Hello, and welcome to this. Today I'm reviewing a very strange Christmas movie I found called A Wrestling Christmas Miracle. The plotline, according to Amazon, is Case, an 11-year-old wrestling champion, gives up his sport to help his best friend Charlie out of a coma by making a Christmas movie. So the story / screenplay writer is the guy who plays Case's dad, Ajax, in the movie. I thought it was the 11-year-old boy who's acting as the main character for the entire movie because that's how badly the whole thing is done. So the kid did a really good job of acting, and everybody else in the entire movie just did terrible. So bad. Also, we need to talk about the movie poster before we begin. Why the fuck do they feel like they had to Photoshop 3 separate photos of these people together instead of just taking a photo of the 3 of them in the same room? I happen to know from seeing the movie that they were all 3 in the same room several times, okay? So I don't understand why that's an issue. The rest of it is pretty Christmas movie typical, so I'll leave that alone, except that they felt it necessary to blur all of the skin textures from, like, the kid, the mom, the dad. All 3 of them have, like, extremely flawless skin in that, like, creepy doll-like sort of way. And also the mom's hair is blurred, which I don't understand. Weird artistic choice. She kind of looks like a ghost. I digress. The movie begins with some home footage of some little kids wrestling.
It's genetics. The kid is a machine, built to win.
Case apparently has won 50 consecutive wrestling matches in a row without a single practice, largely due to the fact that his dad is an Olympic wrestler named Ajax. The adults in the movie cannot fucking act. See this clip as proof.
You're going to make a movie at only 11 years old in hopes that your friend will come out of his coma?
Yes, and I'm gonna write it and direct it. And you have to help me.
Okay, so there's a scene at the start of the kids' movie. I'm not going to explain the movie because it would take too long. There's absolutely no point. The plotline is just awful and makes no sense and you can't follow it, and I'm just not going to try. I'm not going to. This was interesting though. There is this photo of this guy, and he has photoshopped images on his desk of him hanging out with Obama and also Jesus. So there you go. So back to real life. Both parents and his uncle are all trying to take credit for the scripting of the project that the 11-year-old kid who they are related to wrote himself. They're all trying to take credit for it. Bad family. So apparently every single year for Christmas, the dad goes to the Congo to wrestle, which is so weird, but he says it like it's the most natural thing in the universe. You find out that he's going to wrestle an elephant. An elephant. He's going to go and wrestle, which is interesting. So in the next scene, we find out that Case's movie has already been recorded and there's 1 copy of it. And so they decide to give it to Uncle Ron to guard with his life and make copies of. Knowing full well that this entire time they've been talking, Uncle Ron has been sitting on the couch, hammered, just drinking his beer. So, of course, they give him the only copy of the movie. Regardless, we move on to the next scene, and we're meeting the bad guys. They were both in the kids' movie. They're both trying to be actors, and they're talking about how awesome it would be if they play this movie on Christmas Day. Charlie wakes up from his coma, and the movie blows up, and they make $1 billion off of it or whatever. They become really famous actors because of it. So, cut back to the kid again. Charlie's mom is singing to Charlie in his coma, which is seriously all that she does the entire movie. She has very small speaking parts, but like in every single scene that she's in, she is eating food and singing.
4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves.
She's talking to Case about how he's Charlie's best friend and she's really glad that he's there and to keep talking to him because she knows that he can hear it. And so Case is telling Charlie about the movie he made and how he plans to wake him up from his coma on Christmas Day with how funny it is. Next scene, we go back to the bad guys who are now dressed up as the Grinch and Cindy Lou Who. And They go to Uncle Ron's house to steal Christmas presents. It's nighttime, right? So they're trying to be sneaky. So they get back to their house and they're oohing and awing over how cool this 11-year-old's Christmas presents are. They have like these little Nerf guns and stuff, and they're like, whoa, look at this. Pew, 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 pew. And then they do whatever this is. So the baddies go to a restaurant and they make a phone call to Case's mom pretending to be Germans. They don't specify which Germans, they just say that they're Germans and they took the movie and they want $1 million to give it back. Mom and Ron tell Case that the movie and all his presents are gone, and so he goes to Charlie's house to break the news to him. Cut to Charlie's mom, who's singing Christmas songs and eating chocolate pretzels in the middle of her living room floor. The bad guys call Case, Mom, and Uncle Ron, and Case hears the bad guy over the phone, and he says, "That's Chuck Wiener. He worked on the movie," and I can tell because he was always trying to do these really bad accents. Chuck tells them to deposit the $1 million into this dumpster so he can go and pick it up. And then the bad guys go to the theater to meet with Keene and watch the movie. Mark Keene decides that he really, really loves the movie, and so he's going to buy it. So the bad guys are like, hooray, no matter what happens, we're going to be rich and we're going to win. Next scene is we're listening to the radio from various points of perspective, and over the radio is some crazy fucking bullshit. Strap in.
Wait, the Congo government has just been overthrown, and an American Olympic wrestler apparently is at the center of it. Ajax Gabriel is headlining a wrestling tournament dubbed the Christmas Coup in the Congo, which has turned into a real coup. After pinning several jungle beasts and a few of the Congo's best wrestlers, the country's dictator Bob Smith challenged Gabriel to a wrestling match. Smith, most don't realize, illegally immigrated to the Congo in 1995 from Norway. Known to be on steroids, Smith has also been the Congo's bodybuilding champion since he forcibly took control of the nation in 2010. Well, now he is locked in a cage at the Congo's premier sports stadium.
What's this? President Smith is beckoning Ajax Gabriel. I thought he was congratulating him, but no, he's taunting the American. The president is waving a tiger's tooth at Gabriel.
That's Congo for let's fight.
Well, a fight it's going to be. President Smith has ripped off his shirt.
He is one muscular man, almost 6 feet 5 inches tall and weighing 255 pounds.
Gabriel doesn't seem fazed.
Well, he did just pin 3 Congo national champs, and it was rather spectacular what he did to that giraffe.
Here comes Smith, onto the mat. I don't know what to expect. He's a brutal man.
My God, Gabriel has immediately hit the president with a flying cradle. President Smith has been pinned in 3 seconds. It's bedlam here.
Military personnel are rushing the mat. The American may have some trouble.
Gabriel is tossing Smith to the Congo soldiers. They might arrest the American.
I don't understand. The soldiers are handcuffing Smith, who is violently fighting them. A whole militia has suddenly appeared in the stadium. Guns are pointed everywhere. President Bob Smith is now being rushed into an octagon mixed martial arts cage that abuts the wrestling mat, where he was just pinned by American Olympic champ Ajax Gabriel. The general is throwing a bucket of tomato sauce on Smith. That's the ultimate sign of disrespect in the Congo. The president is locked in the octagon cage, covered in gravy. Gabriel is high-fiving the general. It appears...
So, American Olympian Ajax Gabriel has assisted, maybe brainstormed the overthrow of a foreign dictator.
So now Mom and Uncle Ron are in the kitchen. Ron is asking Mom if she has the $1 million to pay the bad guys to give the movie back, and she's like, well, not without Ajax. So like apparently Ajax is just fucking loaded, I guess, because they're acting like $1 million through the movie. By the way, they act like $1 million is not that much fucking money. Like they're not going to give it to him on principle, because then they would win and we would lose. But make no mention at all of the fact that $1 million in exchange for an 11-year-old's home movie is fucking ridiculous. Maybe I'm too poor to relate to these people, but like, that's way too much money for this to make sense. Anyways, the bad guys imply that they've kidnapped Case. So everybody starts panicking. They go to Charlie's house to check on him and see if he's there. Charlie's mom is singing again for some reason. Singing and eating like she always is. So Case is upstairs just talking to Charlie, and he's definitely not kidnapped, so I don't know why they implied that. They all go back to the house. Mom and Case are talking to each other, and then there's this like really honestly fucking adorable scene.
Did you meet with the wiener today?
Ugh, yeah, well, I think you could say that we missed him.
He's like a slippery hot dog.
Yeah, with ketchup and mustard.
Cut to a sick shot of some really cool Christmas decorations set to some more Christmas trap music. So all the adults except for Ajax, because he's in the Congo, arrive at like this school wrestling gym, and Chuck says he'll throw the hard drive at the same time that Mom throws the $1 million in a bag. Kitty Cat, she opens up the bag and there's $1 million in it, and then Mom, surprise, opens up the box and there's no hard drive in it. It's a chicken sandwich apparently. Who'd have thunk? So Mom gets pissed and starts threatening them, and Chuck holds up a can of tennis balls and he says, "It's a bomb." And we learn that he used to be a special effects guy, and he was also in the Marines and the Navy and the Army and the Coast Guard. And everyone believes that for some reason. And so the bad guys look like they're just going to be able to fucking walk right out of there. But then Ajax comes back. He busts into the room and does this.
Now we have to change our plans.
Yep, whatever that is. And then we find out that Ron had a gun the entire time. And apparently so did the mom. They were just gonna sleep on that detail, I guess.
I thought you were wrestling the elephant tonight.
That elephant chickened out. He was a socialist, maybe even a communist.
Now all of a sudden Uncle Ron is holding the gun pointed at Mom. He's been helping the bad guys the whole time, and he's gonna take his money and fuck off so he can stop living in Ajax's shadow, I guess. He's the stepbrother. I don't know why he would be living in Ajax's shadow. So Dad wrestle threatens him, of course, because that's what he do. Mom puts down the gun. Dad lets go of Chuck. Ron does some bad math.
$1 million. Split 3 ways. $250 apiece.
That's 333,000 and change for each of you, dumbhead.
So then Mom kicks the gun out of the way and points it at all the bad guys. And Dad and Case are hugging it out now. Case proves that all of these adults are stupid as shit, and that Chuck was never a special effects guy or a Marine, and the tennis balls are just tennis balls, and that Ron's gun is a toy. So out of nowhere, a bunch of grown-ass men in basketball shorts show up, and they run at the bad guys, and they say, "Let's house these fools!" And then they just carry them off and tie them to punching bags. I don't know. Nothing else happens with the bad guys after that point, so I don't know what happened after they housed those fools. So now they cut to Charlie's bedroom. The movie is over and Charlie still hasn't woken up. Case starts recounting this crazy story to him about how they got the movie back, about how his dad is in the CIA, and that's how he overthrew the dictator along with his mad wrestling skills. And then Case starts showing Charlie their signature family wrestling move.
It's called the Gabriel Spladle with a soup ladle. Now don't show anyone this move, Charlie. This is how you do it. After you've peeled back the guy's forearm, you lock his head.
You get some weird fever dream visuals, and then Charlie wakes up, and the first thing he says is, "Case, can you get off me?" I thought that was really funny, because yeah, why are you on him? Get off. And then that's about the end of it. Charlie is awake, and Case says, "Charlie, you woke up. It's a miracle. It's a true Christmas miracle." He throws his arms in the air, and that's the end of the movie. I personally learned a very valuable lesson, which is that if your friends are in a coma, you should always try to wrestle them, because then maybe they won't be in a coma anymore. So that's it. If you like this video, please let me know and give me suggestions of other bad movies that you'd like to see me review. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out the description if you'd like to join our Discord or hang out on Twitch. I stream every weekend. I also have a podcast right here on YouTube that comes out on Wednesdays, and I put out videos as often as I can. That's it. Have an awesome day and hope to see you soon.